afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to GameStar TV on a fine Saturday morning. I'm your host today and will be throughout the day. My name is Crisis, and I'm joined by the production crew here at GameStar. We've got a fantastic lineup of talent for you behind the casting desk, and of course a fantastic lineup of talent for you playing in today's matches. This is the Zowie GameStar Overwatch League. It is the league finals, and it is going to be an amazing day. Starting off, let's go through the introductions, ladies and gentlemen. Our casting team for the last quarterfinal and then the semi-finals and the grand final. The familiar names and faces and voices from all of the previous weeks of the Zowie GameStar Overwatch League. Bobby J and All G, and we'll start off with you, Bobby J. G'day, mate.
What it do? I'm ready on our crew.
And let's move straight on, All G. I hope you're ready to be casting with Bobby J and the good mood he's in today.
There was absolutely no way I could top that intro, so I'm just going to say hello to everyone and that I'm really excited to get things going today.
Yeah, it's going to be a cracker. Well, we'll turn to the introductions for your casters for the first three quarterfinals today. We're going to have the original, the one and only founder of GameStar, EJ, and he's going to be joined by Gaimar on the analyst side of the world. EJ, g'day, mate.
Yes, g'day, Crisis. Shout out to everybody who's already tuning in Twitch TV. All I got to say, Crisis, is I am excited and pumped up for the finals day today. It's going to be huge, absolutely huge, and get some.
Yeah, it's going to be a massive day. We're really pleased to be with you all. Gaimar, how are you doing, mate, and how are you feeling about today?
Well, a little bit excited, a little bit nervous. You know, it's my first finals weekend casting, so I'm looking forward to these games.
And you've got a lot of practice under your belt as well, casting for us here at GameStar for a couple of the Zowie GameStar Overwatch League qualifiers through the weeks, and putting in some hours with the boys from heroesleague.org as well, who are also going to be having their finals. I think in the power rankings we said that the finals for that particular competition was next weekend. Of course, they've moved it one weekend back, so the weekend of the 20th of August is when that final series takes place, and that's going to be a good one as well. Well, here we are after 5 weeks of qualifiers, ladies and gentlemen. 8 teams have qualified for today's final series. We've been putting out a lot of information about what the teams are and when they are going to be playing again. But in case you need a reminder, we're going to be opening today's matches with Chiefs versus Thanks. Following that, there will be the Woodcucks versus Quentium. Then the quarterfinal between Jam Gaming and Avant-Garde at just about 20-2. And then the top seed for today, Untitled Spreadsheet, going up against Orbit. So let us get ourselves into the first match, and that is going to be Chiefs Esports Club going up against Team Thanks. And your casters for the day, as I mentioned, are EJ and Gaimar. So EJ, I'm going to hand it over to you, mate. Take it away as we build up the lobby and get ready for the draft to be completed.
Alrighty, thank you, Crisis and Gaimar. We are here, quarterfinal number 1, and it's a big one to get us underway. What I'll get you to do, Gaimar, as well, we've got the lobby up. Run us through the teams. Who's playing for us today?
So on the Chiefs side, we've got Dorky, Aporia, Smorglet, Termo, Rep, and Hey Katie. And on Thanks, we've got Davey, Ao, Zij, Nanokip, Dogo, and AC Daisy. Now, one thing to note is that Ori won't be playing today. And I believe it'll be Rep and Smorglet playing that support position. So we have that to look forward to. And on the Thanks side,
That's quite a
we
big
have
roster,
even
isn't
more replacements. We have, I believe it's Nanokip and Ao, who are their subs, stepping in today.
Yeah, big play bringing subs into the finals. You got to do what you got to do to go in for the prizes, and huge prizes on offer today, over $8,000. Zowie have contributed to the prize pool for the Zowie GameStar Overwatch League. take us through some of the things we could look for today, the keys to the map, or we haven't picked a map yet, but the keys to the teams. Who are the strong players on both sides that we really need to keep an eye on?
Well, I think the current meta really favors Genji players, and both Heikadi and Zij can play Genji really well. So I think the duel between those two, not necessarily duel as in they're fighting each other, but the duel is in who can kill more of the other team. That will be a big deal. But then conversely, which team will support their Genji better? Because Genji needs support to stay alive. I mean, he's only got 200 health, but he can do a lot of damage if he does. So I think that'll be a major contributor today.
And not just in this map, we've got good Genji players throughout the day today. In fact, some of the world's best coming up on show in some of the other quarterfinals.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was looking through the teams, and each team I can see one person who I've seen dominate on Genji. So I'll be surprised if we don't see a lot of Genji and a lot of Genji doing well.
Now, through the weeks leading up onto this match, and we'll just let the broadcaster know we are ready. Type that in. We are ready to go. Let's go. Rock and roll. Okay, Chiefs took the bounty last week on Untitled Spreadsheet, so they're coming into the finals in red-hot form from the last week of the qualifiers.
Yeah, I mean, that win was a big deal for them. Untitled kind of shut them out for the past 4 weeks. Week 4, the Chiefs didn't even enter. So to come back in week 5 after not entering in week 4 and take out the week, that's a pretty big deal for them, and they're going to be pretty pumped coming into this.
And it's kind of affected the way the finals have set up by missing that week, because they've ended up in the same half of the draw as Untitled. So likely semi-final opponent if we go on current rankings and form.
Yeah, they came in at 4th seed, whereas I would put them in power rankings around 2nd.
Yeah, definitely.
Which really hurts their chances of making the final unless they can top a one-time spreadsheet.
But it also shows the importance of the qualifying rounds we've had. All the previous 6 weeks to get to today's finals have been very important in actually seeding today. We are loading into the map though, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to get the action underway very soon. It is the opening round of the ZOWIE GameStar Overwatch League Finals Day. It is Chiefs versus Thanks. It's a best of 3 match, and we are going to get things underway.
Yeah, I think Lijiang's a really nice map for Chiefs, so Thanks are really got to be concerned. But in saying that, capture points are very, I would say, they turn one way or the other. If you can get an advantage, if Thanks can get the advantage in the first fight, I think they can hold points because they are a strong team. It's just they're really going to have to be winning those early fights, those most important fights where you build ult charge and capture the point first. And on Chiefs side, I'm seeing 3 DPS players. So if they can get quick picks, if Thanks can get quick picks, then it could snowball very quickly in their favor.
All right, we are underway here, and the action is taking place on the control center. And we have got the unlock. Control point will unlock in 11 seconds. Both teams just feeling themselves out. The boys from Thanks coming down from the server room onto the point now. They've cleared it out really nicely. And a bit of defense going on. Point is unlocked, and it is the boys from Thanks who are on there at the moment. We do have contests from Chiefs. Chiefs have respawned, and coming back into the fray now are the teammates. Dorky in particular, but freeing it up. And good map from McCree. You can get some good lines of sight, get some good picks, particularly when the high noon goes off.
Yeah, that was an interesting fight because they managed, both teams managed to get quite a few kills, but now Chiefs reinforcements have popped in, so it looks like they're going to have to push back now, but that's a good advantage for Thanks. We talked about how they'll need to get these early advantages, and they've secured the point, and Chiefs now have to wait to regroup as they're still waiting for a player to join them. So
just watching Nano Kip at the moment. His ultimate is up. And talking of ultimates, he's no 2 ultimates are up. Dogo's got his as well. So we could be going to see some action soon. The point is about to be contested. And the beat goes down. Nice little boost. Oh, lovely play by Nano Kip. Gets the frag out there. Dropped him with the fan, the hammer.
yeah, they still have the ultimate advantage. I think what Chiefs were really trying to do in that fight is just build some ultimates of their own. Is now they have 4 up.
So Heikadi's ready to rip as well. Snuglet, Rep's got his. And it'll be interesting to see what Termo does on the Zaya.
Yeah, and the other thing is they baited out AC Daisy's Lucio ultimate, so now that won't be available, whereas will be for Chiefs.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking to Bina ultimates, there they go. They dropped it. The assault has taken place on the point. And Chiefs have tried to push in there, but they got held up and pushed back. The ultimate again coming down. Are they going to get a mass kill? They do. Nano Kip lets his rip and picks up a double. Nicely done there by Thanks Gomar, holding out that push. They're at an 80% charge now on the control point. Things are looking very good for them in this opening round.
Yeah, I think that both teams used their ultimates quite well. The issue is that Chiefs' Graviton Surge was countered by Dogo's Transcendence, and Aporia got picked up trying to kill them.
Alright, objective under assault now, so it takes them to overtime to get it, but the Chiefs have come through, ladies and gentlemen. They have snatched the point in overtime, and if they can swing this one, that'll be a great start to the day. A 99% has swung back. We'll have to wait and see what Thanks can do. Air has his ultimate up on the Winston. Possibly got to wait for AC Daisy to catch his up. He's at 93% Gomar, so they'll let a build go. 21%. They've got a bit of time to buy before they need to really push in here and try and get this point back.
Yeah, I think the key for Thanks is just play solid, and that appears what they're doing. They're just walking in slowly, but they are getting picked off, so it doesn't look like this will be the push for them. But they've got so much time that they don't really have to be worrying yet.
No, they need to just build up and consolidate here, and when they do their push, they've got to make it count. It's got to be the one they need to do it. 42% is the build now for Chiefs. Termo's ultimate is up. In fact, almost the whole team's ultimate is up. Rep and Aporio still charging. And the boys from Thanks just swinging around the left-hand or right-hand side of their spawn. Going to come through the server room now. And that's where the action's going to take place here. 58% charge for Chiefs on the retake. And Aporio comes in, but they get caught by Termo's ultimate. And carved up like a Christmas turkey. Hey, Katie coming in there, picking up a double with the tray, so nicely done indeed.
Yeah, it was really nice play there because the only defensive ultimate that Thanks had used was a Transcendence, and Transcendence is only heal over time. So that Pulse Bomb, which does I believe about 300 damage in one hit, isn't counted by the Transcendence at all.
No, it's a nasty little thing, that Pulse Bomb. Alright, so this is the push now, and Thanks have hit the point. They're popping ultimates left, right and centre. Didn't pick up much with the ultimate from Zarya there, and the beat goes down by the beautiful Lucio. High Noon got called. Dorky picks up a double. That was nicely done. He needed to get those two, and that gives a chance to push them back, and the overtime ticks down. Wow, is all you can say indeed. Gomar, what a retake and hold by Chiefs. Left it to the last second.
I think Chiefs there just really showed their experience. Even when they were down 99%, they still knew that they could get it back. And I think that's what you see from the experienced team. They don't get flustered by early losses like that. So if they can continue to fight like that, then it's going to be very difficult for Thanks. But Thanks showed some really good promise early on that point. I mean, they did hold it to 99%. So if Thanks can do the same and then not lose it on the retake from Chiefs, then they could end up taking this map. I mean, we still have 2 points potentially to go, so never count out a capture point map.
So it's best of 3, ladies and gentlemen. It's not best of 5, which we might get in competitive play. This is the Zowie GameStar Overwatch League first quarter final, finals day action. Over $8,000 in prizes throughout the tournament. And huge thanks to Zowie for those. And Plantronics, our other sponsor for the MVP. We got 3 headsets to give away for the MVPs from the series. And we'll be drawing that later tonight. That'll be something to behold itself. And the fight taking place here just in front of the temple. And fairly even until Hey Katie picks up her awesome triple, and that has just decimated them, and that is going to give Chiefs the point by the look of it.
Yeah, Chiefs just played really aggressively. They just jumped onto Thanks, and Thanks didn't really know how to react with that Winston just sitting on them, outputting damage. When Winston puts up his bubble like that, it's really hard to deal with him as a DPS player. And he's got a lot of health, so only really the DPS players can kill him. So hopefully this time Thanks can put up a better fight.
All right, here we go. Thanks making their assault now. Shield down. Darby's in here pouncing around. Doing a good job keeping them on the point at the moment. But Hey Katie again with another triple, and there's a 4th. Wow, she or he, or should I was going to say she. Won't insult him. We're open to everybody here at GameStar. It's all welcome. But Hey Katie putting the name down for an MVP, Gomar, with this early form that they're in.
Yeah, really just Chiefs showing dominance. They used their ultimates early. I believe Dorky and Heikadi both used their ultimates with the high noon pulse bomb combo.
Yep.
And that's just tearing the team of Thanks apart. But Thanks are starting to get some ultimates of their own, so they might be able to fight a bit better in the future fights.
All right, here they come round the right-hand side, building rush onto the centre point here. They've been caught on the bridge, and that's where the first engagement occurs. And Borio has popped his ultimate there, and he's gone all Donkey Kong on him.
Yeah, that
Knocking
fight
bodies
was
everywhere.
more...
Listening to Drowning Pool, I think, Guymar. Bodies were hitting the floor then.
Yeah, that's the thing with the knockbacks of the Primal Rage. You can hit people off the map, and that can be very effective. But overall, in that fight, I think Thanks were just trying to build their ultimate charge, try and bait out some from Chiefs, but they will
they've
now have
almost-
the ultimate advantage.
Now Darby's at 89%, well just crack 90, and they'll have 6 ultimates up. But the control point is on 86%, so it's ticking fast. Here comes the charge in now from Thanks, trying to get in. Oh, counter ultimate on the point, or just outside. They managed to blitz that. Pushing into the point now. Darby's still up swinging. Aporio's trying to push in. He's taken out though. Dugo, or Doggo. Is it Doggo or Dugo? I always get that.
I think it's Doggo.
Wrong. Yeah, Doggo. We'll call him Doggo. Even though he does like Dugo. And they planned the objective. We could have a reverse here, Guymar. We saw it in the last match, 99%. We had a point taken, they held it. Can Thanks do to Chiefs what they did to them in the last round?
Well, looking at those ultimate charge meters, it does look like Thanks have the advantage. I mean, their calm, considered play, coming in on that last fight with the ultimates, it now appears to have given them the advantage. So they now just have to hold out like Chiefs did last point, and they could be taking this point.
Right, Chiefs come through the garden over the bridge now. They're encountered a ball of death when they landed, and they have been shut down. Oh, Giga Grave right there on that spot, Guymar, and put in the Chiefs' bodies. They got slaughtered.
Yeah, and Thanks still have ultimates available. I mean, we still have Doggo's Transcendence and Nano's High Noon, even with the ultimates they used that fight. So they're still in a good position, but Chiefs' ultimates are charging just the same. It looks like Chiefs are getting ready for a push, and if this push is effective, could turn around.
Yeah, it could. They won't be running into the orb of death on this one. And much better for it as they've managed to get across the bridge, into the hut, temple, whatever we like to call it, the Mix 05 Shrine of Love. It's all good. There goes the ultimates again. They're pushing in. We're up to 59% here for Thanks on the retaken point. It is a complete reversal of the first map. Oh no, they're retaking now. Nope, they've managed to hold it out. Nope, we've got a Reaper in here. Bouncing around, it is Dorky. He's seriously outnumbered though. And Dorky goes down.
Yeah,
Well, they
Siege
tried
fell
hard
very
there,
early in
Guymar,
that
but they
fight.
weren't able to do it.
Yeah, they even picked off Siege like really early because he pushed onto the back line, but he died so early in the fight he managed to get back at the end, and that's what really kept them on the point.
This is pretty much it for Chiefs. We're up to 88% here. We're going to go into overtime, and it's going to be a massive play. What's the longest overtime you've ever seen on a map like this, Guymar? I think we're going to break that today. Having said that, Chiefs have pulled it out. Chiefs have taken it. It's 99% all. We need anyone. Can anyone from Thanks get in here? It's ticking down. No, they can't. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Best of 3. Chiefs take it 2-0 in an absolute cliffhanger of a second map. 99% all into overtime, Guymar. And the experience of Chiefs just holding it out.
Yeah, once again, they just showed their dominance. And Nano had some good ultimates like this, but ultimately they just weren't enough. I mean, he won some fights with them, but you can't always just rely on having good ultimates. You need more from your team, and really Chiefs showing their experience. Just speaking to that longest overtime, I believe it was Jam Gaming. Atar on Genji was jumping in and out of the point. I don't know if you remember this game, but that overtime lasted forever. He was just flipping in and out of the window on that point, and that's what happened. But enough of that. The map has concluded, and I am just looking to see what map we'll be heading to now. I believe it'll be King's Row.
Now, Kings Row, who do you think that would favour?
I think that both these teams should be able to do well on King's Row. It's the staple map which I think every team is comfortable on. But in saying that, Chiefs just really showed that they can come down from behind, they can recapture it. So this Chiefs lineup is looking pretty strong at the moment, but we've seen glimmers from Thanks as well, so
Yep.
I think really either team can take it, as we just saw on the last map.
And Gaimar, when we did our prep, we had a little prep meeting and we were talking about key facets to watching the different matchups. One of the things we talked about was for Thanks, they're gonna have to shut down Hey Katie. They weren't doing that early in that round, and they were paying the price. So this map, I think they're going to pay, a lot closer attention to what Hey Katie's doing.
Yeah, interestingly, we saw a bit of Tracer from Hey Katie, which is a bit of an oddball pick, but I think we won't see any Tracer on this map. It's more
No, probably not. But the skill of the person still shines through no matter the class.
Yeah, I completely agree, especially if Hey Katie jumps on Genji. We saw a bit of Hey Katie,
yeah.
I think it was on the control center point, and it'll be interesting, and it does look like we will be seeing that. So really, they're going to have to shut down that Genji. A good way to do that is good use of Zarya and Kree. They're very good means of stopping the Genji. But in the same vein, Turmo Zarya can give a shield to Hey Katie, and the shield on Genji just increases the survivability so much because Genji already has a lot of survivability. So
what's it give them? 200 extra hate or 200 armor or something?
It might even be 400 HP. It's either 200 or 400. But
yeah, one of the other guys will correct us in chat in a few minutes, I have no doubt. And we're open to it.
The important thing is, though, Genji's hard enough to kill, and when you just chuck that, it's essentially doubling or tripling Genji's health, because Genji has 200 health to start off with. And that just keeps Genji alive so much more. But in saying that, Zenyatta's the new meta. Zenyatta can increase damage dealt to a hero by 50%. So that can sort of counter it, but getting those good Discord orbs on Genji and then following up with the McCree and the Soldier, seeing a Soldier here. We haven't seen that much Soldier lately, but Soldier is still
Nanokip's going to run one this round, so we'll get to see it in action. We've got 5 seconds underway here, and we'll get going on Kings Road. It is Chiefs versus Thanks. It's the opening quarterfinal of the ZOWIE GameStar Overwatch League. Gaimar and EJ bringing you the action. Crisis on camera. And if you have any shout-out requests, the buys are in the Twitch chat, and we'll see what we can do as the day goes on. And the assault is straight in on the point here. Oh, huge rush by Thanks. No mucking around at all. And they are just beautifully into the point. The high ground being held by Soldier 76. Everyone else, Gaimar's been pushed back right through the tunnel.
Yeah, really nice push coming out from Chiefs there. They just kind of overwhelmed Thanks, and that's a good thing to do on that first point. We have been seeing the first point fall really quickly lately. I think that's just part of playing King's Row in the current meta. There's so much damage coming out, and you can't really just stop the onslaught very well. I mean, sometimes teams will defend it once or twice, but you rarely see full shutouts.
Try and cover. It's very difficult.
Yeah, especially since Winston can just jump wherever Winston pleases, so Arambe to the rescue. Now, going into the streets phase, I think this is a difficult one to defend because there's a lot of flank points for Chiefs to use, and a Genji can go around all of those flank points. So if I were Thanks, I'd be wanting to shut down those flanks, as we see them try to do now. And I think if they can shut down the flanks, then holding the middle will be so much easier.
And it's what they're trying to do, as Gaimar said, and Rep bringing the car past the bookstore now, and the engagement's taking place in front of the station. And the subway entrance is getting a beautiful view of carnage. And Hey Katie is pretty much the only victim there. No, we've just seen a few more drop from the Chiefs team. And Thanks have pushed past the cart here and held it up just in front of the pub. So we're at the side of the pub here. They're going to pop in and have a beer. And that'd be good on a Saturday, Gaimar. We should have hit Crisis up for a carton of beer for our casting efforts today. Next finals, it's on. Yeah, no, next finals, it's on.
I think the first player to go down was actually Dorky on the Reaper. So when Hey Katie fell also, the damage on Chiefs was non-existent after that point. So they really want to stop being picked off so early.
And we talked about a pre-round. They need to get on to Hey Katie if they want to have a chance in this one. The player is on fire today, and the play has occurred here. The cart's just coming around the station entrance. Chiefs just getting held up, and tranquility is being played. So that'll allow Darby and the boys to just come past the payloads. Ultimate's been ripped in the street, and they push Chiefs right back. But Chiefs managed to get the cart a little bit further towards the checkpoint now, so 5 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock. Ultimate's building up for, well, pretty much both teams. Nano Kip's just picked his up, so he's ditched the Soldier 76 and gone back to the Reaper.
Yeah, Reaper's really nice on this stage of the map because it's really close quarters and Reaper can output a lot of damage, especially with a Winston on the other side. Though I do notice that there is no longer a Winston on the other side with Emporia switching to Reinhardt.
Yeah,
so that Reaper will no longer be the counter.
All right, here they come past the front of the pub now. Huge charge in. The orb's going in as well. We need someone to follow it up. And the people following it up, in fact, the Nano Kip on that Reaper we were just talking about, maybe he might class out after all. He just picked up a nice double.
Yeah, doing really good work. And the player I really want to talk about as well as Siege has been doing some really nice work on McCree. I believe in the two fights prior to this one, he was the one picking up Hey Katie with this fight, Nano being the one to pick up Hey Katie. I talked about how they need to shut down Hey Katie, and thanks are really just taking my advice. I don't know whether they had someone in Twitch chat listening in, but that seems to be what they're doing, and that's really effective.
Coaching session with you during the week and you gave him some red hot tips or something.
You never know.
I'm just surprised I haven't been saying ZJ's name a lot more. I mean, what a crack of a name. It's got Z in it. Thank you, Crisis. All right, just in front of the pup here now. Emporio's pushing through on the Reinhardt again. And we've got some ultimates built up for both teams. 3 for the Chiefs. For Tanks, I should say, and 4 for Chiefs. And it's a Reinhardt action, shield-to-shield action. Bit of Reinhardt on Reinhardt laughing going on in front of the station now. Ultimate's been popped left, right, center. Tranquility's down. Darby's holding on desperately to that ball. He's sucked into the orb. And not too much going on. This might be the chance they need. There goes the ultimate from Lucio. Dogo's doing his best at the back. Nano Kip's trying to hold it up. The cart has not advanced far, hasn't come around the corner, but Rep's bringing it round now. So that was the push they needed, Guymar, with 3 minutes and 6 seconds. One strong coordinated attack, a few early picks, and they've got this cart round the corner.
What I found interesting about that fight was Hey Katie was shut down very early, but a lot of ultimates were used to do so. When you use a lot of ultimates to shut down one player, they're just not up for the rest of the team. And so Thanks just didn't have an answer for the rest of Chiefs, and I believe that's why they lost the fight. But now coming into this third stage, once again this is a defensively favoured stage, so long as they can win this fight.
Yeah, we've seen some excellent holds here during the qualifiers of the ZOWIE GameStar Overwatch League, so we can expect the same here now. Chiefs bringing the cart round. Termo's got his ultimate up. In fact, what a great run of Emporio and Snorgler did at the same time. And they're just going to roll this straight in. The boys from Thanks caught on a horrible spawn there. And a cap of the point. There we go.
Yeah, what I said that it was a really nice position for the defenders, but that's only if you can set up. What Chiefs did was they pushed forward, they stopped Thanks from being able to set up, and Thanks just couldn't defend it after that point.
And the longest spawn time now as well when they're at that point, I think. Or they got caught on a bad spawn, they just didn't get the chance to get back. All right, just watching the play of the day there, and it was the Genji in action. All right, so we're going to switch sides and do it all again.
Yeah, match time of 5:47 for the Chiefs offense. That's a good time. I think either team can still win this though. It's one of those times which is defendable and beatable. So if Thanks can have a really nice push here, they can beat that time. Chiefs will really just be wanting to have a solid hold on that first point, get rid of some of that time, and then they'll be able to hold for long enough. If you don't hold the first point, it's very hard to delay for long enough to stop teams. As we saw then, that 5:47 time was off
2 minutes at that first point, they'll be very happy with that.
Yeah, exactly. If Thanks had held Chiefs for a minute on that first point, the time would have been 6:47. So
yes.
it's such a different dynamic when you can hold that first point. And so
I'm
really Chiefs
impressed
are
with
looking
the New Zealand education system, dude. Your maths is spot on.
What can I say? Best country in the world.
I got to agree with that, and I think that I just got to say, New Zealand, wait till the end of the Olympics, and I reckon by per head of capita, New Zealand will actually win the Olympics at Rio. That's my hot tip as they get underway.
Yeah, I think we generally do pretty well in that metric. But coming into King's Row here,
It is indeed. Back to the action. This is Zowie GameStar Overwatch League. Who needs Olympics when you got Overwatch action on GameStar TV 1? Shout out to all the viewers in Twitch. Shout out to our sponsors, Zowie, Plantronics, Ronnie's Custom Gear, and of course, GameStar, bringing you all the broadcasts. We've got Bobby, J, All G, and Vic50 coming up later this afternoon from the analyst desk. They'll be joining us between rounds as well to break down the action that's been happening here in this quarterfinal plays. We've got 3 of them to go after this one, and then the semi-finals, and of course the grand final later this afternoon. Guymar, it is going to be huge for Oceanic Overwatch.
yeah, huge indeed. And really, if Chiefs can do a really nice play here, they'll just send a message. They'll say, we're not afraid to face Untitled Spreadsheet next round, but if they can't win this next hold, then things could look dire for them.
All right, game's underway. Let's see what they've got as they come onto the point now. And just at the base of the statue is the action's taking place. And it's a good point to fight in front of the point. Pick the team, push it back through that archway. And that's basically just what's happened. And wow, slapped down. That first push went nowhere.
And we talked about how key it'll be defending this first point, and that's exactly what they've done. Ultimates is now starting to charge. Aporia's at 86% to his. And as those ultimates charge for the defensive side, it gets harder and harder for Thanks to push through. So that's really what you want to aim for when defending King's Row. That first push is so big in ult charge.
All right, pushing in here. Air on the DVA was on point to try and use that shield to just get them in. He had the Reinhardt behind him, but they were nudged out of there. Togo on that point, bouncing around, makes himself a prime target. And there he goes, dies at the back of the taxi. And that's not the place you want to die, at the back of the taxi. You want to die on the point like a man. Get in there, Togo. And here we go, they've spawned again. What do they got to try? Thanks. We talked about buying a minute. They're going to buy more than a minute with the current way they're holding this defense.
Yeah, Thanks really just have to be winning fights without ultimates, because now the Chiefs do have the ultimate advantage. So Thanks are really just going to need to surprise Chiefs, get a nice early pick, and then things will turn around.
And maybe come a bit of high ground. And we've just seen that there. ZJ just me must be listening as well. He comes out high on the right through the clock tower area, but he's been chased down by 3 players now and put down. 3 minutes, 18 seconds left on the clock. Termo, Snoggler, Dorky, Rep all have ultimates ready to go. And Gogo and ZJ, or ZEJ, have them ready to rip as well. So great work here by Chiefs at the moment. Strong defense. Reinhardt having an early poke at the point, just trying to get some damage in. Coming around the right-hand side of the statue. Again, the fight takes place in front of the statue, which is where they want it to go. There goes the Genji ultimate. Can they pick up some kills? ZJ's in there swinging. Oh, I think he's like a South Sri Lanka number 12. Gets no hits. Did he get a single kill then? Yes, got 2. Hey, goes ZJ! And that was enough for them to get the point, Guymar. They managed to time their ultimates on that push. And with 2 minutes and 31 seconds left on the clock, they've got this.
And they didn't even use that many ultimates. I believe they used Dogos and CJs.
Yeah, CJ,
which means they still have 4 up for the next fight. And Chiefs have only got Rep's sound barrier. So if they can snowball this using their next fight, they could still beat the time, but things are getting pretty tough for them. They're pretty much going to have a clean
They've
sweep.
held back till they've all grouped up. And now they've pushed forward. They're going to have the encounter at the archway just in front of the bookstore. They don't want to defend the pub at this stage. They like a bit of literature in the middle of the battle. Bookstore it is, they said. And the cart stuck in the archway, so nice work by Chiefs. CJ trying to come out high on the point, or over the cart, I should say there, but just pushed back. Too much spam on the window. You can't stand there and get your shots off. All right, cart moving again. Darby's pushing forward. Here come Chiefs again, and the engagement's on. We've got a self-destruct going off. Oh, he picks up a triple. Yeah, with that awesomely timed, and gets the 4th. Oh, that could be the change they needed. What a great play there, Guymar. TVA in action.
Once again, they win a fight using only 2 ultimates. So they still have 3 available. Oh, they might have used 3 actually.
Well,
but they still have a lot available.
Pretty happy.
But Chiefs now have some ultimates of their own. But it looks like Thanks will cap the second point unless Chiefs can get in quick.
Yeah, Chiefs are trying. They're in front of it now, so they look like they might try to.
Thanks really need the point here because they are running out of time. Less than 2 minutes to cap.
All right, so Tranquility Pop on the point there, and Tanks have done a great job, but not quite good enough, as the Chiefs have managed to secure this cart and stop them capping. Nicely done, actually.
Yeah, really nice for the Chiefs. We talked about how Thanks really just need to clean sweep the rest of the map, and Chiefs winning a fight there is huge for their chances of winning the map, because now they can just delay, let the timer run out. This is stopwatch, so Thanks do have to beat Chiefs' time if they want to win the map.
All right, there goes the Tranquility has been popped. They're coming around the corner now. Aporio's trying to slow them down. He gets dropped in backplay. Ultimate's out on the back of the cart. This could be trouble. Huge trouble indeed. And it's all left to Rep to try and do it. And they're going to get this on to this point. I don't know the overall time they've got. 50 seconds, I think we'd be sitting around, if my maths is correct. They had that great capacity to just do that on the fly. Guymar, they could do it. 50 seconds. They got 5. Push on it. 1 straight roll through will be enough. Hey, Katie has left the game. Oh, tragedy. Absolute travesty.
This may be a good opportunity for Thanks. I mean, they don't have much time, but now they're 6v5, so they can push out. They can do well here.
All ultimates going off here. We're on the final bend of the S-bend into the point. Aporio's firing it away. Tries his best. Another Tranquility is popped. Air with the Winston comes in, clears out the back of the payload. They could get this moving. Time on clock remaining in 0. So now they're playing for pride, I presume.
Well, they're playing for a defensive point. Remember, we use the Gosu Gamers modified point system here, so they could still come away with a single point. But
point forward, the fastest time will go to the Chiefs.
That is correct. And, I mean, they're going to win this game anyway because they've picked up 2 points regardless.
All right, Cap coming in now. It is a contested point. Guymar, what have we seen here today in the opening quarterfinal? Lots of high action Overwatch for starters.
Yeah, I think really some of this, it's been Thanks playing well, but Chiefs playing better. I think that's really what it's come down to. I mean, we saw even when Hey Katie dropped, Aporia evens up the fight straight away with a charge on Nanokip, and it's that sort of thing which has kept Chiefs really just in the lead. I mean, at some points they've been down, but they just even it up every time.
And this is the form we saw from Chiefs last week when they knocked off Untitled for the first time this season. Going into the semi-final, what a great warm-up game this has been for them. They've been pushed. Thanks have brought the A game today. Played extremely well throughout the series. They were seeded quite high due to that because they did so well during qualifiers. But it's been Chiefs morning or afternoon, I should say, here in the first quarter-final.
Yeah, I have to say, I was really impressed with Thanks. They did a really good job, considering Chiefs are the second best team in the region, but Thanks to come out and do so well against them really just shows how quality Thanks are.
All right, more engagements at the point here. The boys from Thanks still playing aggressive and hard right till the end. They believe they got 2:14 on the clock, and they do have 2:14 on the clock. They can still catch this point for themselves. High noon's gone off. Got one. Snorglet goes down. Rep doing a great job being an annoying Lucio and holding up that card. But he'll get smashed out of there by a big cleaver to the head. Aporio's on the point. That's helped out. Dogo tries to get it going. But they've got the back there. Snorglet on the tracer. They've held this out. Darby's still swinging. Oh, Darby's in deep trouble now. Aporio gets a huge maximum of 0. Self-kill. And I'm not watching Twitch chat, but if Pressure's in Twitch chat, you'd be pleased with me, dude. I've skimmed along the bottom of this map following this cart for most of the game. You would have loved my cam review. Shout out to Pressure. Probably playing later today. Maybe, for lucky. This is the play for Woodcock.
I think he plays for a different team. I believe he plays for Quintium now.
Oh, Quintium. Well, they're playing later today, so we might get some fresh action. That'll be cool.
Just ask Squizzy to confirm in chat whether he is a core member or a sub to Quintium.
Either way, he's an observant Twitch viewer, and you might be in Twitch as well. and we should have some prizes coming up during the day in Twitch chat, so keep an eye on that. Crisis will be discussing those if they're available throughout the course of the day, and I'm pretty sure they are at some point. Cart's getting pushed on now. 41 seconds are left on the clock. Ultimate's going off. Reinhardt's shields are up. Corio's there bouncing around. He's done a lot of that today, a lot of bouncing. Burn a few calories. Oh, he's burning calories with a face biting the dust off a ultimate, but he's got his ass saved by Dorky picking up a double. And with 20 seconds left on the clock, the Chiefs have said, you may not cap this cart today.
I think they're taking a lesson from Gandalf, you shall not pass.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah, one of the characters getting very confident there, already proclaiming they've won this in the match. Oh, there goes another high noon's going off. Oh, no high noon for him. Dorky gets the triple. Oh, Dorky's put his name out, so the guy's going to be picking the MVP after this one. Weimar have got quite a few candidates. We've had different people standing out at different points on the map across what we've played today, and Dorky stepping up huge here at the final point on King's Row. So that's it. That's a win to Chiefs, I believe. Now, they won the first game as well, so they will be advancing to the semi-final.
That is
Yeah,
correct.
back me up at once. That'll be good. All right, we're just watching the high noon go off there with Dogo. No, it wasn't. Fuck, it was the reason getting all the action. Dorky starts with a D, pretty similar. 34 eliminations, 55% kill participation, and that's a great way to end the first quarterfinal, Guy Mark.
Yeah, the quality of play we saw in that game was really high. I mean, I don't think 2-0 in maps really showed how close that series was. So I think Thanks really just played really good Overwatch, but they were beaten by a more experienced team. So I think overall...
The first map, Lighting Tower, 2 double 99% overtime wins. I mean, it simply can't get closer than that.
Yeah, I agree. So props to both teams for impressive displays here, and props to Chiefs for their win of this quarterfinal.
All right, Guymar and I are going to take a 2-minute break, grow and grab a drink. We're going to throw you over to the analyst team, Bobby J, All G, Nick50. They'll be catching up, and over to the team to break down the match and pick the MVP.
Well, what a fantastic game, ladies and gentlemen. For our opening match of today's broadcast, of course, we're covering every single quarterfinal, both of the semi-finals and the grand final, all the way through best of threes, all the way to the grand final. And then the grand final switches over to a best of 5. And the winner of that will take away 6 28-inch esports monitors, courtesy of Zowie BenQ. The second place winner will take away 6 24-inch esports monitors, courtesy of Zowie. And goodness me, if that's the second prize, I mean, I wouldn't have minded winning second prize myself. Nevertheless, it's all for the players. And here we are at the end of that first quarterfinal. And Bobby J, I wonder if you picked up in that play of the match, the Plantronics play of the match. It was the end part of Hey Katie's Genji run there. Right at the start of it, he managed to get a reflection on the flashbang from the opposing McCree. So the pick was, watch out for Hey Katie, and you've got to say, Hey Katie came through.
Hey Katie had a massive game. Back when the Chiefs in the first game against Thanks, they were struggling there for a little bit, and Hey Katie's the one to come through on that trace and picking up triple kill after triple kill, get his team back into the game. So big game from Hey Katie.
Absolutely massive. All G, you were tuned in for that. Besides Hey Katie, we picked a battle between Hey Katie and Zeej. How do you think Zeej did?
Listen, Zeej did really well. On the first map, I think Thanks were a little bit unlucky. They couldn't really deal with Hey Katie's trace of that map. But coming back onto King's Row, Zeej actually shut down Katie quite well on the McCree, getting some really good flashbangs coming out, making sure that there was multiple times where Katie would pop the Dragon's Blade and look to get those couple of resets and really work the ult. But he shut him down very, very efficiently. So he did do quite well, but unfortunately it was more the Chiefs just as a unit today, really just showing how they're the second best team in Australia at the moment. And it's just their initiation, both on defense and offense, and their aggressive play style that really plays into them. And I don't think Thanks could really deal with the pressure, unfortunately, today.
They could not indeed. So the team's done really well for Chiefs, but we must restrict our Plantronics MVP selection to a single player. So I'm going to throw it to you, Bobby J, to go through who you think should be nominated for the Plantronics MVP.
Yeah, well, my nomination goes to Hey Katie. Just ridiculous amount of kills, and I was just blown away by how many kills like back to back he was getting on that Tracer to begin with, and then the Genji was just awesome in the last game.
All right, no argument from anyone here, I think, about that. So congratulations to Hey Katie. He's going to be added on to as the first Plantronics MVP nominee for today's final series. If you've been following the ZOWIE GameStar Overwatch League, you will remember that we have allocated or nominated an MVP in every single match that has appeared on stream. And up on GameStar.com right now, there is a full MVP list. All of the players who have received MVPs throughout the competition, and for 5 weeks, that means we had 45 nominations. Today, we're going to have another 7 added to that, and at the end of the grand final, we will be picking through a random selection process, which you will see how that works. If you've never seen one here on GameStar TV, we'll be picking 3 MVPs who will walk away with that Plantronics with an Plantronics Rig 500 HD each. So a fantastic prize sponsored by Plantronics themselves. You can head on over to GameStar.com and have a look at that full list. It's just under Plantronics MVPs and the third option on the menu there, the ZOWIESTAH League, to see who's going to be getting it. We'll update that throughout the day. Well, we're going to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen, while we get ourselves ready for our next match, and that match is going to be the quarterfinal between the Woodcucks and Quentium on the other side of the brackets here on the ZOWIE GameStar Overwatch League. Stay tuned.